A world champion calls out legends, a headline fight is shattered by a last-minute withdrawal, and brutal insults ignite fresh feuds in the heart of the division. UFC 325 is not just missing a star, it is sparking an all-out war, from Arman Tsarukyan's defiant clapback against Ilia Topuria to Alex Pereira's next power move. But the real chaos? It began with a single comment. Buckley and Shavkat Rakhmonov had been circling each other for months, but a single Instagram comment set the whole welterweight world buzzing. Rakhmonov, never shy about trash talk, called Buckley Black Boy while challenging him online. For Buckley, this was more than fight hype, it felt personal. He spoke to Parry Punch News and did not hold back. Buckley said, "I would have been felt better if he would have said the N-word, bro. Call me a boy is crazy work, right? Because I am a grown man. It could have been black man you get beat up, right? Why black boy you get beat up?" Buckley also pointed out the double disrespect. Rakhmonov had called him kid in another post. Both fighters were born in 1994, so Buckley was not buying the age angle. To him it was pure disrespect, not lost in translation. He added, "You just trying to be disrespectful, but you going to take this fight though." The MMA community exploded with debate. Some argued it was just a language barrier, pointing to Rakhmonov's Kazakh roots and Russian slang, but Buckley saw a clear line crossed. No matter the intent, his clap back turned a routine call-out into a headline-grabbing feud. For both men, the next move is not just about rankings, it is about pride, and neither is backing down. That single comment did not just light a fire under Buckley, it signaled that every word, every post is now a potential spark for the next big rivalry. Ilia Topuria wasted no time turning up the heat on Arman Tsarukyan. Sitting down with Eldobaran MMA, Topuria went straight for the jugular. He said Arman is a good fighter, he said he had his opportunities and he refused to compete. He did not stop there. Topuria called out the pain excuse, saying, "All of us fighters deal with back pain, arm pain, leg pain, everything, and yet we show up to fight." Then came the line that had social media howling. Maybe he had to change his underwear after making that decision. Topuria did not just question Tsarukyan's toughness, he went after his intelligence too. He brought up the infamous weigh-in in Qatar when Tsarukyan headbutted Dan Hooker. That does not show much intelligence. It also does not show the appreciation for the love the UFC is giving him. For Topuria, the message was simple. The UFC are not waiting around for Arman. He said, "You know what they said, Arman. So Arman, from here go yourself." Tsarukyan was not about to let that slide. He fired back on X, flipping the script on Topuria's time away from the cage. He said, "You are talking about taking time off from fighting to fix your family issues, but it looks like you have plenty of free time for all these interviews. You are a joke." With every shot, the rivalry between Topuria and Tsarukyan only grows. Both men know what is on the line, and neither is willing to back down. If these two ever meet in the octagon, the build-up alone could ignite the whole division. Ilia Topuria was not satisfied with just calling out Arman Tsarukyan. In the same Eldobaran MMA interview, he set his sights higher, taking aim at the reigning lightweight king and the division's greatest icon. Topuria said, "Everyone knows it is a fight everyone wants to see, and for some reason he has not accepted it. It is very easy to talk from thousands of kilometers away and judge and criticize me. But then when you have me in the octagon, you start to realize that I am not Jack Della Maddalena, that I am not Dan Hooker. I am something very different, and when I put my right hand on you, you will see that you are going to have a very, very long sleep." The message was clear. Topuria sees himself as a nightmare matchup, not just for contenders, but for the champion himself. He did not stop there. Topuria went straight after Khabib Nurmagomedov, the retired legend and Makhachev's mentor. Topuria said they are so cocky and arrogant, and I would really love to submit him in front of Khabib. And if Khabib wants to step in afterward, I will gladly step on his head too. That line set off a firestorm across social media, with fans and fighters weighing in on whether Topuria was crossing the line or just selling the fight. Not everyone was impressed. Ali Abdelaziz, manager to both Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan, fired back on X. Abdelaziz said he is a little bit confused. Everybody is giving this guy space and respect to resolve his family problems, and they should. But when he comes out and talks about Khabib, Islam, and Arman for no reason, and he is not even fighting, I am not sure people should give him a pass anymore. With Topuria throwing shots at the top of the division and even the legends outside it, the lightweight landscape feels more combustible than ever. The only question now is whether all this talk leads to the super fight everyone wants, or just more chaos. Alex Pereira's reign at light heavyweight has taken a sharp turn away from the expected. After reclaiming the belt in October and evening the score with Magomed Ankalaev at 1 apiece, talk of a trilogy seemed inevitable, but Pereira's camp is not playing along. His manager Brizan Magomedov said, "We understand that Pereira doesn't have much desire to give us the third fight, but in any case, we still get there." Instead of chasing the trilogy, Ankalaev's team is looking at a different path. Magomedov added, "We'll have one more fight before that. We'll pick a strong opponent." Jiri Prochaska's name is already in the mix as the next target, with Magomedov calling Prochaska the right step to get back to the title. Meanwhile, Pereira is using his champion status to shape the division's future. He is in no rush to run it back a third time, and with contenders circling, the next move at 205 pounds is all about leverage and timing. Tai Tuivasa never takes himself too seriously, even when the heavyweight division is filled with knockout artists. Sitting down for a Q&A with Jaden Cable, Tuivasa gave fans the kind of honesty that made him a cult favorite. When asked how a fight with Cyril Gane would go, he did not hesitate. He said he would get knocked out in the first round. About Volkov, he said he would get knocked out as well. About Alex Pereira, he said Pereira would knock him out in 2 minutes. And about Pavlovich, he said he thinks Pavlovich would knock him out in the first round. Sometimes self-awareness is the best defense. On the fight schedule front, there is fresh action coming up. Jose Henrique, who battled back from a Dana White's Contender Series loss with 4 straight wins, is set to face Eric Nolan on February 7th in Las Vegas. Nolan, who had his own 4-fight win streak snapped in his UFC debut last August, looks to bounce back. March 14th brings Bruno Silva, coming off a submission win over Hyeong-sung Park, against Lona Kavanagh, who is looking to recover after his first professional loss to Charles Johnson. With these matchups locked in, the early months of the year are shaping up for some serious movement in the flyweight ranks. Who do you think walks away with the statement win? Carlos Prates touched down in Liverpool and crossed paths with Paddy Pimblett outside Anfield. No trash talk, just a respectful face-off. When asked about a grappling match with Arman Tsarukyan on the Vector Basin podcast, Prates said, "They asked me to fight him and I accepted, but UFC say no. They don't let me fight. I was really excited at the moment, you know, but it's okay, it is what it is." With the UFC veto, Prates is now looking toward Jack Della Maddalena or Michael Morales as his next opponent. In Miami, Andrei Arlovski was swept into a backstage brawl at the Jake Paul vs Anthony Joshua event. Arlovski later clarified, "First of all, I didn't beat up anyone, I just stopped the threat." For him, it was about protecting his family, not picking a fight. Meanwhile, Luke Rockhold reignited the grappling debate on the Casuals MMA podcast, dismissing Charles Oliveira's 17 UFC submission wins and his 4th-degree black belt. Rockhold said, "Charles Oliveira sucks. Comparably to real good grapplers, he's not even near." Right now, every withdrawal, every feud, and every call-out reshapes the UFC's championship landscape in real time. In a sport where narratives change overnight, reputations are built or destroyed on moments like these. The next headline is already in motion. Drop your thoughts below and join the conversation.